So this is the official blog post from Call of Duty, addressing everything we need to know about the current state of matchmaking. Now obviously I'm not going to read the whole goddamn thing, I'm just going to highlight the most important parts, all that you have to know. I'll try to keep it nice and concise. With the launch of Modern Warfare 3 Season 1 late last year, we committed to a conversation with our community about matchmaking. Yes, you have, and you are sort of late to it, but I mean, I'll let you off. At least there is a statement. Many people are actually speculating that it's a load of bullshit and you won't even come out with this, but okay, let's continue. We often see the community refer to our matchmaking system as skill-based matchmaking. Call of Duty does consider skill, or more specifically player performance, as a component, as do most in the industry, but skill is not the dominant variable. We consider and prioritize several factors to create lobbies. Yeah, right. Here we are. Matchmaking overview. Call of Duty multiplayer matchmaking is composed of many factors: connection, playlist diversity, time to match, recent maps/modes, skill/performance, input device, platform, and voice chat. I think it's trying to make us believe that connection and time to match is at the top of the list. Actually, yes, because it's actually down here as well. It's the two biggest priorities in the whole game, the whole matchmaking system. Once again, I don't fucking believe that, because there are many tests people have made where you could join multiple lobbies in a row on previous Call of Duty games before you actually join one in Modern Warfare 3. So this is what Call of Duty believes to be their matchmaking system, and this is what it really is. I guess they didn't number all of these, it's just like these two are the most important, and the rest are, you know, there also is some sort of factor that just slightly, they're like pretty much 1% of the whole matchmaking system. It's just these two. As the community will attest, ping is king. Connection is the most critical and heavily weighted factor in the matchmaking process. Yes, I agree with that, because if you have bad connection, you're gonna play like shit, and that is just fact for any multiplayer game. Time to match. This factor is the second most critical to the matchmaking process. We all want to spend time playing the game rather than waiting for the matches to start. Well, the thing is, I agree with that, but can you show like one test study, whatever, where this is actually the fucking case? Like I've said, there have been videos proving that it just takes ages to start a Call of Duty match in recent games for no reason. Yeah, this just explains what ping is, and I'm pretty sure everyone who's ever played a multiplayer game has an idea of what ping is, so I'll just move on. Measuring time to match for matchmaking. Okay, this will be good. If the wait time in a lobby is excessively long, players typically recycle the process by cancelling out of matchmaking search and restarting it, or even quitting. Are they trying to say this is the reason why you wait so long for games? It's because my impatient ass can't fucking play the game properly. I mean, okay, maybe there are people that do this, and if they do that, then they have no reason to complain, they're just idiots. But for the most part, I don't think that's the issue here. That may be one of the issues, but it's a tiny issue in comparison to what we're actually talking about here. For example, in the popular Modern Warfare 3 Rustment playlist, consisting of Rust and Shipment in rotation, players will often leave lobbies and or matches early on, hoping to requeue into Shipment instead. Do people really do that? Well, I mean, in that case, that's like a issue with playlists in general. How about you do like this Counter-Strike thing, where you can select which maps you want to play, just like you can select which modes you want to play in quick play. I don't know, just something to think about. Anyway, this isn't too much of an issue, this whole paragraph, because you do have voting, you do have map voting in this game, so there's nothing to really talk about here. While skill is one of several factors, oh, they're really trying to hammer in that, it's always just somewhere in there, it is in the process, but it's not our priority by any means, no, it's just somewhere off back there, just sort of, it's barely existing, in fact. This is barely a variable in the system. While skill is one of the several factors in Call of Duty multiplayer matchmaking, we know the community wants more information about how it fits into the process. Yes we do. Skill is determined based on players' overall performance, kills, deaths, win, losses. They forgot to include slide cancelling and all that funky shit, including mode selection and recent matches as an overall metric across all multiplayer experiences. This is a fluid measurement that's consistently updating and reacting to your gameplay. Skill is not only a factor in matchmaking players against appropriate enemies, but also in finding teammates. Call of Duty has historically considered player performance among other factors as part of our matchmaking process. Our work in this area dates back as early as Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 2007. Well, yes, I don't doubt that, but the difference is, back then it wasn't nearly as strict as it is right now. I'm not saying you can't have skill in the process. I mean, I get that makes sense. You can't just have someone shit on everyone on every match, but then again, like they're trying to say here that, oh, skill is, you know, just this tiny thing. If the system was really like in the old games, people wouldn't be complaining, because they weren't complaining back then, obviously. So something has probably changed. There was probably a massive change to the system that made skill a bigger focus. And yes, obviously it's in the industry because it makes sense, but in other games it's not as strict. That's the problem. That's our problem. We never said that skill-based matchmaking in general, or at least the people that understand skill-based matchmaking, never said that in general it's a bad thing. But when you make it a priority, when you make skill its #1 priority, and then try to balance the game in a way where you win 1 or 2 matches, you're going to be put up against players so much better than you, then you'll probably lose the next 2 matches. It's that kind of cycle that we hate. In addition to today's blog, our technology team is developing a ping and matchmaking white paper for those inclined to get into the more granular information about the Call of Duty matchmaking. Stay tuned for more on this publication. To conclude, we want to answer some of the most frequently asked questions from the community. Okay, that sounds good. Does Call of Duty consider player engagement, time played, as a factor in matchmaking? We do not consider how often or how much you play when determining matchmaking. Well, I mean, that's a little weird, because let's say you took a break. Maybe you're feeling burnout from playing a certain game, like I have that all the time, especially when I like really enjoy a game at once and I just can't stop thinking about it for, let's say, a few days or a week. But then I'm like, oh, I'm actually really bored of it now, so I'll stop playing it and I'll come back to it in, I don't know, a few weeks or a month. Then you get put back to players that you were playing against earlier with no fucking warm-up, and you're gonna get smashed. So maybe that should be some sort of factor, at least in my opinion. I don't know what you think. Does the Call of Duty matchmaking process impact any in-game elements such as hit registration, player visibility, aim assist, damage, etc.? No, our matchmaking process does not impact gameplay elements. Alright, this is a genuine question, because I mean, this feels like it's come from someone who just can't admit that losing a gunfight was their fault. This just sounds kind of funny. Does spending money on Call of Duty content, such as bundles, battle pass, or black sell, change how players are matched? Money spent does not in any way, shape or form factor into matchmaking. Now that is a bold-faced lie, my friend, because it's been confirmed, a fact in fact, that players who bought a bundle or something along those lines are often matched with players who haven't bought anything. And therefore, if, let's say, the player that didn't buy anything gets killed or picks up a weapon that is buyable from in the store, maybe it's a skin or whatever, or a new weapon, then the idea is that person will want to spend money on getting to that weapon, or whatever the hell it is. Does Call of Duty use bottom multiplayer matchmaking? Yes, they are always on my team. Do partners or content creators get special consideration in general matchmaking? Why would they? No, we do not change matchmaking process based on who owns the account. Yeah, that's fair enough. Have you ever tested removing skill as a consideration from matchmaking? We have run tests over the years to determine if removing skill as a consideration for the matchmaking makes sense. We will continue to launch these tests periodically. To date, the data remains consistent with what we detailed above. Players tend to quit matches or stop playing if they're getting blown out, resulting in a negative overall experience for all players in the lobby and the general player population. We purposefully do not disclose when these tests occur because it may impact feedback or the data we see during these tests. Now, I actually remember winning multiple games one day on Cold War, so I'm wondering, is it because that was their little test to see if removing the skill factor is a good idea, or if it was just me getting lucky? I don't know. Have you considered removing skill from matchmaking in specific general multiplayer game modes? We have considered this in the past and will continue to examine if this idea makes sense as a part of our experimental playlist, or in specific modes. We have nothing to announce on that front today. Actually, imagine if there was like an actual no skill-based matchmaking or whatever the hell playlist, no sbmm. Maybe then move the skill aspect entirely, but I don't know, try to make it like previous games. Maybe like in Call of Duty 4 as the example you gave. Thank you for your feedback and for being part of our community. We'll see you in the lobby. Alright, this was quite lengthy. I just tried to skim over the most important parts, and this is the official blog post on the state of matchmaking and what they are planning to do in the future. So that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a like, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.